don't remember. Brand new edition of Local Focus. Welcome in. It is the end of, or towards the end of football season. As you can probably tell by our recent guest list, I'm over it. It's hoops time. It's almost that time. Basketball right around the corner. Not just exciting hoops at the high school level, though, here in New Mexico. They're doing some really cool things at ABC Prep as well with Coach Brandon Mason. So I'm really excited to get to meet and have a chance for you to meet one of their newcomers and high flyers, Christian Gilliland. Welcome, man.
Oh, what's up? Thank you for having me.
How's that transition from Memphis, Tennessee to Albuquerque, New Mexico?
It was very hard. It started with first a 15-hour drive, getting down here, getting situated, and the elevation level is killing me. It was killing me my first 2 weeks.
Right. So we'll get to that in a minute, but you talked about the drive, right? It's got to be like, it starts out pretty green and nice, and then it slowly gets to here.
It got very dry
right?
when I got closer and closer.
You talked about the elevation, though. So that's a real thing for athletes then, right?
Yes, sir.
Were you just absolutely gassed your first couple of trips on the court or what?
Yeah, it's like I did one workout and I was sweating like as much as I ever sweat before. Like it was very tough, but I got used to it after being down here for a certain amount of time.
So let me ask you this. How long does that take for your lungs to kind of get used to that?
It gave me like a week and a half, 2 weeks, and I got used to it. I'm good now.
And so what did you kind of do to adjust? You just run a lot, or what did you do to adjust?
I ran a lot and I drank way more water than I ever drank before.
Okay. And do you see that with some of your teammates that are also from out of town?
Yes, everyone, like those first couple of days, it was pretty bad.
Were the local kids letting you guys have it? Like, hey, what's the problem?
Yeah, they were used to it. Like,
Right.
It was killing us in all the, like, we have a river run, and, like, they were killing us. And we kept stopping, but they just kept going. Yeah.
I did see some social media of you guys were, like, running hills somewhere.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was pretty bad.
And some of you guys were pretty gassed,
Yes,
right?
sir.
So tell me about that.
Well, it wasn't that bad because we did it early morning, so, like, it wasn't necessarily hot, but running up those steep sand hills it was killing me.
All right, so tell us a little bit about yourself. You obviously you're from Memphis, so let's dive into that. Athletic family? Tell me about that.
Just my mom. She was a cheerleader growing up, and she's pretty athletic. My dad, he's not really so athletic.
All right, and then basketball mixed in with any other sports?
Basketball and football. This is my first year not playing football.
Okay, and when did you first pick up a basketball and a football?
Football, 4th grade, and basketball since I can walk and talk.
Okay, so let me ask you: was that hard to give football up?
Not really, because I didn't really like football that much. I just played it because all my friends at school played it, and I just really want to feel left out, and it was something to do when I wasn't playing basketball.
But you did have some like D1 interests, right? At
yes,
football?
Sir.
So tell me about that a little bit.
It was kind of cool having like D1 schools follow me in football, but I just don't think that was something I would do at the next level.
Right.
Playing football, I'd rather stick to basketball.
What easy decision? I'm sure your coach was devastated. Tell me about that.
Yes, sir. He was devastated, but once he found out I was moving down here to go play for ABC, he realized this was probably better for me, and he understood about it and everything.
Okay, so let's go through that decision. So before you get to ABC Prep, you're playing at North Point Christian, right?
Yes, sir.
And so I did do a little research. We do some research on this show. Number one in the Memphis metro area, 29 points a game, 6 rebounds a game. You were the Region 6 Player of the Year.
Yes, sir.
So you came with a really good resume, right?
Oh, yes, sir, I did.
So what became part of that decision?
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. The competition level wasn't that great, and I wanted to make a name for myself, not towards the South, like nationwide and West Coast. I wanted to play in front of more college coaches.
Okay, so was that a tough decision though? Was that tough teammates, coaches. You're already, I mean, you're a made man, right? You're player of the year. You're dropping 30 a night. I mean, that had to take you a little outside your comfort zone, though, right?
Yeah, nobody, they weren't really mad about it. They were just confused on why I would do it because they weren't really familiar about prep and all that, but they understood once I explained it to them.
Right.
They weren't really mad at all, though. They supported it.
Man, I could only imagine a coach losing a 30-point score. How depressed do you think he was when you left his office?
Yeah, I can tell he was pretty sad.
Right?
Yes, sir.
So, all right. So, tell me about the connection with Brandon Mason, and how did you hear about ABC Prep? When did all that kind of materialize?
Well, University of Evansville recruited me, and one of the assistant coaches, Craig Snow, my dad called him. He told him we were looking at prep schools, and he told us about ABC. Then he sent my film to Coach Mason. Like 5 minutes later, he hit me up, and it just went from there.
We have some film as well. So, this was a showcase that you guys did at ABC Prep, and there was the dunk contest as usual.
Yes, sir.
And so let's go through this. This was the winning dunk, right?
Oh, yes, sir, it was.
Right, and play that back one more time, Jay. What's the vertical on that?
Well, I don't know in that dunk, but I have like a 45-inch vertical.
45, okay.
Something like that.
And that's Micah Munoz you jumped over, right?
Yes, sir.
So how tall is he?
He's 6'5".
And there wasn't a hair out of place either, right? Like
Yeah.
he didn't get bumped on that or anything,
No,
right?
sir.
So did you have that one planned for the final all the way? What goes into a dunk contest like that?
I mean, we had like a free day, so we were just shooting. And one day I was like, let me see if I can jump over you. It was like 2 days ago, and I jumped over him. And when Coach talked about dunk contest, I was like, I'll bring that in for my final dunk because I knew I can do it. And it was shock people.
Right.
Because I didn't have to push off or anything.
Who's the tallest player? Is that the tallest guy you've jumped over?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So, yeah, needless to say, you won the dunk contest, right?
Yes, sir.
So,
Well, it was a two-way tie.
Oh,
I think I should have won.
it wasn't a tie.
Yeah.
It wasn't, that's just Brandon playing politics. When you jump over a dude that's that tall, you're the winner.
Yeah.
All right, so I want to talk more about this move out to Albuquerque and prep. We'll take our first break. We'll be right back with Christian after this.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Back with ABC Prep's Christian Gilliland. Christian, you were talking about this transition to Albuquerque. So what's harder, the basketball transition or the everything away from basketball transition?
At first it was a basketball, but now it's like everything away from being basketball.
Right. And so tell me more about that. Like, what do you miss the most about Memphis?
Probably my family, and I have to spend like my own money now. And
Oh,
I hate
it's
it.
your own money.
Yes, sir.
Well, and that's the thing, right? So, like, yeah, okay, you dunk like a grown-ass man, obviously.
But I
But
gotta-
you would be a junior in high school, so leaving your parents and stuff, that's got to be a pretty big decision, right?
Yes, sir.
But talk about how that works at ABC Prep, right? You guys have the prep house now, so tell us about that.
It's we live with like 10 teammates. It's very nice. Coach makes us keep the house clean, so it's basically like we live for free, but we have to like do chores, so he makes us work.
Which one of your teammates is the worst roommate?
Worst roommate.
Like, dirtiest, leaves the house the dirtiest, doesn't want to do his own dishes. If you have something in the fridge that says Christian, he's like, no, I'm cool, I'll take that. Like, who's that guy?
I would say JP. He's not dirty, but like he always asks for like a drink or my stuff.
Right.
I give it to him, but he's not dirty, but he just asks for
So,
it.
like, if you have a 6-pack of Gatorade in the fridge with your name on him, he's like, oh, cool.
Yeah, he'll ask first, but he's probably the only person that
All right. Who's the best roommate that's like fills up the fridge, that's your go-to?
Probably David, because he does most of the cleaning around the house.
Okay, all right.
So probably him.
So that's good. Like, could there be a Hard Knocks ABC Prep House edition? Like, could that be a reality show?
Well, we have a documentary on this this year,
Okay.
so we have cameras everywhere. So you might or may not see. I don't know, but we're pretty. I don't think so. We're not bad.
So with the documentary and the cameras everywhere, like, does that change the way you're acting and stuff? Or do you notice they're there, or are you just doing your thing?
I mean, this is my first time cameras in my face, so it's kind of different, but I'm getting used to it.
Right.
Camera be in my face. At
All
first, it was kind of weird, but I'm getting used to it by now.
Okay. What about like the food and stuff? Are you a big New Mexico food guy yet, or not really?
And I just stick to Chick-fil-A. I don't really like
All right,
Mexican
you
food.
play it safe. Chick-fil-A. Is there any food from Memphis that you miss, like the barbecue? In
I don't even
Memphis?
like barbecue.
Oh, you
in
don't like
Memphis,
barbecue?
no, so-
Memphis guy that doesn't like barbecue. That's not normal.
Yeah, I don't really like barbecue at all.
Okay. So what's your first opinion of ABC Prep and the just the whole program and the competition out here? What's your thought on New Mexico hoops?
I'm not gonna lie. At first, I didn't really think New Mexico basketball was that good, but until we played the spotlight team
Right.
in the showcase, it showed me that New Mexico has a lot of people that can play basketball.
So tell our audience, for those that don't know, who's on the spotlight team?
You got Daniel Steverson, one of the top players. Jalen Holland, top player in 25. And I don't know their names, but they had a lot of other top players.
Right.
And they had the Gatorade Player of the Year. I forgot his name, but he was pretty good.
Right.
They had a lot of pretty good players. We almost lost. We won by a game winner that game.
Okay. So, I mean, there's definitely enough here to keep you sharp, is what you're saying.
Yes, sir.
All right, let's go back to this dunk for a second. You talked about your vertical. So, for those that are watching, like I'm not an idiot. I know a lot of that's genetics, right?
Mm-hmm.
But, like, what are you doing to improve that vertical?
Like when people ask me, it's like I don't do anything special. Like once I started like playing football and getting in the weight room more often, I started jumping higher. Just lifting weights. Like I didn't do no plyos, all that not extra stuff, but I didn't really do any of that. I just stayed consistent in the weight room, and I kept seeing my vertical go up and up by year.
So just, you're naturally bouncy.
Yes, sir, I can say that.
So if someone else was, like, asking you for advice, you'd be like, I don't know, bro.
I just
It's
say
good genes.
just lift weights or something.
Okay.
That's all I did.
So, all right, so take us through your workout routine there in the weight room. What's that like?
It just depends by the day. Sometimes we do back and shoulders, but since the season's been coming, we've been doing like a lot of stretching, mobility type stuff. Cause like we can't lift heavy during the season, so we've been adjusting to like more conditioning and like plyo type stuff.
All right, are there dudes that you watch in college or in the pros that you try to model your game after, or just dudes you like? I know hoopers like watching and other guys, right, admire their talent. So who's some of those dudes that you watch that you're like, yeah?
Probably, well, people say I play like I'm Ja Morant, Dwayne Wade, and a little bit of Russell Westbrook. I watch those three players a lot.
Okay, so can we have the Ja Morant conversation?
Well,
Since you're a Memphis kid?
everybody says I look like him, I play like him, so like I go in public, people call me Ja. The people on my team call me Ja, so it's like, and I play like him, so I'm pretty used to hearing Ja pretty much everywhere I go now.
Right. So what's your thought on that whole?
At first it was annoying, but like at this point I really don't care anymore.
But what's your thought on just everything that's gone on with him with the suspension and the videos and just?
To be honest, it's kind of crazy, but like I don't really keep up with it like that.
Right.
I don't really.
But like, okay, if I told you, if I said, Christian, the only thing that's going to stand between you and being the face of the league and a $250 million contract is keep your guns locked up.
Yeah.
Like, would you be able to like what is it at this time that like he seems to, because it seems like the league wants him to be the face of the NBA, right?
Yes, sir.
And then these things are happening.
Probably like it could be music or the people around, but like if I was in that position, it wouldn't be hard for me, like, because I don't really mess with
Right.
it. It wouldn't be hard for me.
But I feel like, why is that hard for anybody if literally you could be the face of a league, right?
Yes, sir.
So, what is it about those guys' games? You mentioned one of my favorites, Westbrook, in there as well. But what is it about those guys' games that you like?
I like how like hard they play in their downhill motor, and like I'm really good at floaters, so watching Ja like shoot the floaters is like I kind of like get that a lot from him.
All right, you played. Well, we talked about North Point Christian, right? And then you obviously club, right? It's always been huge, right?
Yes, sir.
And you said North Point Christian, maybe the competition wasn't what you wanted there. Well, maybe that's because you're dropping 30 on them. So
Yes, sir.
maybe that's why. But so tell me about your club. When did that start? What club teams were you playing for at that time?
I played my freshman year. I played with Team Thad on the EYBL circuit. It was during COVID, so like
Right.
it was kind of it was during COVID, so everything was crazy. But my sophomore and junior year, I played with Gateway Knights on the UA circuit, and that's when I saw my game go up because I was playing against like the best players in the country and stuff like that.
And okay, on that Under Armour Association circuit there, they really big on offensive efficiency. So you were one of the most efficient offensive players,
Yes,
right?
sir. Yes,
so what
sir.
is that for the basketball layman that's sitting at home? Like, what does that mean? What is offensive efficiency?
It means like I can score like 20 points in like maybe 8 shots compared to scoring 20 and 20 shots. Like
Right.
I might not shoot a lot, but like I make most of the shots I take.
And how important is that at your level that you're playing at now, right? Because you're not playing with like a bunch of stiffs. You're playing with dudes, right? So
Yes,
you
sir.
got to be able to get yours within the offense with, like you said, limited shots. So how important is that?
You have to be efficient because like the more and more you go up, unless you're the dude, you're not gonna be getting 20 shots a game. So like you just gotta take what you get and make the best out of it and just be efficient.
And how did you develop that? Like, did that start right away in high school? Was that always your game, or did you get towards that?
To be honest, ever since I've been playing basketball, I've been pretty efficient my whole life. So it's been since I was little. I've been pretty efficient.
So back to this club circuit a little bit. I mean, competition level there. Talk about that, right? That's what you were craving. So talk about that.
Maybe like this year, I was playing against like top point guards, top everybody in the country, and I was playing with them, and I realized I'm just as good as this kid that's ranked higher than me or whatever. And I just realized I can be one of the best players in the country. That's why coming to prep, I want to play in front of like 247, like recruiting sites that can like push me up and show the world that I'm just as good as anybody else.
Right. Who's the best player you think you've ever played against?
Or played against, probably Kenny Chandler.
Okay. All right. So, and then you guys are going to be hitting the road this year a lot, right? So
Yes,
back
sir.
in the grind session. Talk about that for our audience that hasn't heard of the grind session. Tell us about that.
Well, the grind session is one of the best leagues in prep school. It's very like you have the best teams, best players in the country, and it's like real real type games. Like it's very competitive.
The travel, right? So you guys are in Phoenix a lot, Vegas, right? Is there going to be a thing here in town again this year? Do you know?
I don't know if it's grind session related, but we're in a new league called the EIBC, and a lot of EIBC stuff is going to be in New Mexico, Albuquerque.
Okay. All right, we'll take another break. We're going to talk more about the grind session, that whole circuit. What does it take to play at the next level? What are you doing to get noticed, etc.? We'll be right back with Christian after this.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
For your business or your home, Valley Fence stands alone. We're number one in New Mexico for a reason. It's the best fence you can own. Proudly serving New Mexico for over 50 years. At Valley Fence, the difference is clear. No fence too big, too small, or difficult. We handle them all at Valley Fence Company.
Turbo Threads is a proud sponsor of ProView Networks.
Almost 30 years of experience means fast service, great prices, and a wide selection of apparel from t-shirts to performance sports shirts, even jackets and hats. They feature low minimums and no setup charges on most orders. Turbo Threads is located at 1503 Golf Course Road in Rio Rancho, or find them on Facebook, online at turbothreads.com, or call 999-1234 for Turbo Threads.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
All right, we're back with ABC Preps Christian Gilliland. All right, we do something on the program here called the Top 5 List, top 5 things that we do not know about you. You ready for that?
Yes, sir.
All right, number 5.
I like to thrift a lot.
You like to thrift a lot.
Yes,
Okay,
sir.
so tell me about that.
I mean, like it started this year. I started like on TikTok seeing people thrifting
Okay.
and finding like good stuff. So I've been going like Goodwill, Ross, and I started thrifting a lot. Started finding crazy stuff for like $2 and like
All right.
making it work.
What's your best? What's something that you've picked up lately?
I found this hoodie thrifting.
All right. How much was that hoodie?
It was like $5.
There you go.
It goes like for $50 though, and I found this.
I used to buy all my ties at Ross.
Yeah.
So there you go.
Yeah, I thrift. It's the best thrifting is by universities because you can get free,
Right.
basically free university stuff.
There you go. All
Yes, sir.
right. So that's your thrifting tip?
Yes,
Close
sir.
to university?
Yes, sir.
All right. So Lobo fans out there, they could pick up Lobo gear around.
Yeah,
Okay.
easily.
All right. All right. Cool. Number 4.
I like shoes a lot.
Shoes. See, now that's funny because that's like the opposite of thrifting, right? So then there's thrifting and then there's shoes.
Yeah, I spend all my money on shoes.
All right. So what's your StockX budget?
My StockX budget.
Yeah.
Probably
What's the most you spend on a pair of shoes on StockX?
the most, probably like $600.
Okay. What's the most, or how many pairs are you got right now?
I have like over 50 pairs.
Did
of
they
shoes.
all make the trip?
Oh no, that was one of the hardest things. I had to leave like a lot of shoes I like to wear.
Did you? Okay, I can always tell when it's a real shoe person. Did you have an elaborate case for any of these, or were they just all in boxes?
Yeah, I have cases in my closet.
Because I remember we interviewed a player a couple of years ago, and he like built this elaborate glass case for all his shoes.
No, I didn't do all that. I just bought it from Amazon.
All right, okay, all right. So you're a shoe guy. All right, I'm gonna show you some shoes I got after the show. All right, number 3.
I'd like to play 2K a lot.
2K. All right,
Yes,
that's pretty common, right?
Yes,
so
sir.
if we're doing 2K power rankings at ABC Prep, who's the best 2K player at Prep?
It goes me, then my teammate Johnny Pierce.
Okay. Who's the worst?
The worst, probably. Who's the worst? Probably Tay.
Who plays on rookie mode?
Oh, Red.
Okay.
My teammate Red.
Okay. All right. Now let's say, okay, you're at Chick-fil-A. You're like, shoot, I'm short money.
Mm-hmm.
I need to take some money from one of my teammates real quick. Who could you play in 2K for some cash that you would just?
Oh, JP, because I beat him plenty of times.
Okay, so you could take some
Yeah,
money.
I can take some money from him.
What's your go-to team on 2K?
2K, I've been using Luca a lot, so
Okay.
like probably Luca. He's probably my go-to player.
All right. Okay. All right. Where are we at? Number 2 or 1?
Oh, two and one.
Okay. So what's number 2?
I like to cook a lot. Well, just breakfast. I like to cook breakfast. a lot.
Okay. All right. What's your go-to there?
Probably just bacon, eggs, and waffles, and sometimes pancakes. If I'm not feeling lazy, I'll make pancakes.
I feel like that's not really a skill. Like bacon, that's pretty simple. Eggs.
Well-
So you're like, what's the most? That's not really cooking.
I just do it a lot, so
right.
like I just like people like the team house call me to cook because I'm always cooking
Okay.
breakfast.
Like what's your best? What's
The best thing I can probably cook is like pasta.
okay? What about scrambled eggs? Because scrambled eggs are hard, right?
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
and you talked about breakfast. Mm-hmm. So what's your scrambled egg procedure? First of all, do you make good scrambled eggs?
Yes, sir.
Like 1 to 10, what's your?
I'll probably say it's a 10.
All right. So what's your secret to good scrambled eggs?
The cheese has to be cheese.
Well, yeah, American or cheddar.
And it is really probably American.
Okay, but what about the eggs themselves, right? Like, are
Mm-hmm.
you like a kind of fluffy, soft egg guy or no?
Yeah, they have to be soft. I don't I don't really like burnt eggs or whatever.
Okay.
Like I put in the bowl, mix it up, then I'll put it in there and just scramble them up.
That simple?
Yes, that's simple.
What about milk? You add milk?
No, I hate milk.
No? Okay. What about butter? You add butter to the eggs or to the pan?
I just use palm oil.
Okay, see, this is a very low budget show. If we were high budget, we would have like a stove here and you could show us.
Yes, sir.
All right, so because scrambled eggs are hard. Like, what about you ever go to YouTube to check out some breakfast stuff?
Oh, no, sir.
That's how I learned how to make the best scrambled eggs.
I just did it. Whatever came to me, I just did it.
Okay. So if you ever want to try something different for scrambled eggs, YouTube Gordon Ramsay's scrambled egg.
Okay, yes, sir.
All right. Number one thing we don't know about you.
Probably every time you see me, you'll see me with bracelets on.
Okay. So when did that start?
To be honest, I found a bracelet off the ground. I put it on, and I just I never took bracelets off after that.
Okay. So no special meaning. It's just kind of a.
I just like to wear them.
That's your vibe. It looks
Yes, sir.
good. Look good. Feel good. Okay. All right. Those are 5 very interesting things. All right. Let's get back to before the grind session and all that. Obviously, the purpose of you coming out here is to play at the next level, right?
Yes, sir.
So how can ABC Prep help you do that?
Well, first off, you get a lot of exposure playing with him, and Coach Manson, he coached at the Lobos, played at New Mexico State, coached at UNLV,
Right.
and he knows lots and lots of college coaches. So just have him as your coach can help you a lot.
And then also, for players that are younger, not quite at that level, like how do you get film out there? How do you make contact with coaches? Because it's important, right?
Yes, sir.
The contact part and the film part. So tell us about that.
Probably just all of it goes by Twitter. You have to have Twitter. Because all coaches on Twitter, just follow a lot of coaches, and you might get some follow backs, but just keep consistent and post all your film on Twitter, and you'll be good.
Right. So and then how do those conversations go?
What do you mean?
I mean, you're talking to a coach, right? So how do those conversations go?
Oh, they're very direct and formal.
Right.
Very just straight to the point.
So let me ask you this: you get back from a trip to say Vegas or whatever, right? And you put in good work, you start sending that out right away, or tell me about that. What goes through that?
Well, come here. If I put playing a tournament and I post a video, I would just tag Coach B-Mays, and once he reposted, all the coaches that follow him will see it.
Right.
And it just helps me by tagging Coach, and him reposting just helps me because all those coaches follow him.
Right. What are some schools you're already talking to?
I've been talking to New Mexico State recently, Colorado State, San Francisco, and a few other schools.
Okay. And we talked about this, but you don't really have a dream basketball school, right?
Oh, no, sir. Never really grew up just watching one team.
Right.
I just watched basketball. I never just grew up focused on one team.
I mean, would it be exciting to get a call from a hometown Memphis, obviously?
Oh, yes, sir, it would.
Okay, so what about post-college? You take, obviously the dream for everyone is NBA, right?
Yes,
so
sir.
what do you have to do to get there?
You just have to, put in the work and, lift a lot, condition a lot, just get your body right. Another reason I came here because it's just making me focus on basketball and, my workouts and stuff, no distractions. So,
does that help when you're literally far away from home? There's no one else here. I mean, what else do you do, right?
Yeah, it kind of helps because you really don't have nothing to do. So you're just forced to play basketball and work out all day.
So a typical day at ABC Prep, take us through it.
I wake up around 7, make breakfast, and we have to get there by 8:30. 9 a.m. is the first workout, and every Wednesday we run to the river. It's a 2.5 miles, so you have to go down and back. Then after that, we have individuals, and if you're not doing individuals, you're doing schoolwork. So that's from 10 to 11. It's 2 groups, so if you're in the group that's not doing it, you do schoolwork. Then after individuals, we have a 2-hour break. You get food, rest, go to sleep. Then we have practice from 4 to 6, 2 to 4. Sometimes we practice ABC, sometimes we go to the field house. It just depends on the day.
Right. And so, I mean, that's a full day, right? You're mixing in academics, and then you're full. And I know you guys have a lot going on at ABC with the smaller kids as well, right?
Oh, yeah, we have to help out with the club teams. Little dribblers every Saturday morning. Just give back to the kids and help them out.
It's just like you're a pro already.
Yeah, pretty much. It's like community service, pretty much.
Man, we'll be keeping a close eye on you this year. Thank you so much for coming in, Chris.
Oh, yes, sir. Thank you for having me.
Appreciate it. Nice
Yes,
to meet
sir.
you. And thank you for watching, everyone, and good night.